These are the ingredients that we will need. We'll need some creme fraiche, some double cream, some Parmesan cheese, some cooked spinach, some mature cheddar cheese, some chestnut mushrooms, some parsley, some ghee, which is clarified butter, which is basically butter with the milk solids taken out of it so you can cook it at a higher temperature. And also, if needed at the end, we'll have some corn flour. So, here we go. We're going to start by just simply chopping the mushrooms in half. You can cut them in any way you want. You can slice them into slices, or you can just... I'm just going to do it like this, really quickly. Because you like a nice chunk of mushroom when you're biting into this. Of course, you can make this beef with dish, which is a classic way of doing it too. Now we're going to take our clarified butter and we're going to put a reasonably generous amount in, not too much, you don't want it too greasy, and then put it onto a high heat. Let that melt, get it nice and hot. You can use olive oil, you can use vegetable oil, you can use sunflower oil. It really depends on what you've got or what you prefer, but I like to use clarified butter because it has a wonderful taste. So let's let that get nice and hot. Okay, so the clarified butter is a nice temperature, so we're going to put the mushrooms in and we're going to do it in 3 separate stages. First of all, we're going to put it in. First stage is just to let the water simmer away. And what we're going to try and do now is draw the water out of the mushrooms, because the mushrooms contain quite a lot of water. Now at this stage, this is probably stage 2, where the mushrooms appear to be cooked, but really what's happened in this is the water that's been drawn from them is now steaming them, so they're not being fried, and that's what we want from the clarified butter. So we have to go past the stage, let the water evaporate, and then just bear with it and let's see what happens. And what happens is this liquid is all mushroom water, so when it evaporates, it all gets back into the mushroom, which creates a really, really intense flavour. So this is the point where all the water has been evaporated off, and now basically we're frying the mushrooms. And you can see them becoming a nice golden colour, nice and glistening and beautiful. I wish you could smell this. At this point, I'm going to add a stock cube. Vegetable stock cube. I really like these ones, but you can use Oxo, you can use Maggi, you can use your supermarket's favourite brand, or whichever you like, as long as you add something. So I'm going to add one of these in a cup, add some boiling water, and let that sit for about 2 minutes. So now you've got your vegetable stock. So it's probably about that much in there, probably about a third of a cup in there. Just going to give that another good stir and pour that in there. This will give it a nice rich flavour. Then the next step, we're going to take some creme fraiche. Get a nice couple of tablespoons full into there and give it a good stir. The good thing about creme fraiche, it's very similar to sour cream, but you can cook creme fraiche at a higher temperature than sour cream before it curdles. So I'm going to mix that all in there like that. Be patient with it and let it be nicely mixed. Give it a little bit more heat. At this point I'm going to add my fresh garlic, which I've previously chopped. I didn't want to add it in too early, that was fine, because I didn't want the garlic to burn. Give that a good stir through. Yeah, you can smell it, it smells great. Now we're going to add some cooked spinach, just stick it around the pan, of course with your washed hands. And you can see that's becoming a nice rich sauce now. Give it a good stir. Maybe reduce the heat a bit. Next we're going to add some double cream. Maybe not too much because it's quite creamy with the creme fraiche, but this kind of takes the edge of the sour cream kind of flavour that the creme fraiche has. So probably do. This is all done by taste really. I haven't tasted it yet, but I will do. So if you think it needs more of something, add it in later. It's easier to add things later than it is to take them out. In fact, you can't take the toothpaste and put it back in the tube, can you? Yeah, that's nice creamy sauce. Okay, so now what we do, we're going to add some cheese, but to make the cheese congeal with the sauce, we have to add some corn flour. So here we have like an average, well, half a tablespoonful of corn flour. I'm going to add it to some cold milk. And the trick here is to add it to cold milk. Don't add it straight into the mixture here, because it'll just go into clumps. You got to add it to a cold mixture. Cold water would do, but because this is a creamy dish, I've added it to milk. So if you see that mixes quite nicely, and you'll see what this will do. One of two things. This will thicken up the sauce, and it will also allow me to add the cheese. And then the cheese will turn into a sauce rather than being big chunks of cheese stuck in the bottom of the pan. So I'll just mix that around. Give it a good mix. Now, for my favourite part, to add the cheese. Just spread it around evenly. This is the cheddar cheese. I use mature cheddar cheese because it's got a nice, robust, full flavour. But you can use milder cheese if you like. Again, this is you do this to taste. If you put too much cheese in, you can't take it out. If you just put a little bit in, like I've done, then you can always add more later if you like. Now you see that's becoming a nice thick sauce. Look at that. And if the sauce gets too thick, you can just add some milk. That's what I'm talking about. So we're going to add some Parmesan cheese, give it a nice bit of a tanginess. Again, spread it around evenly. Again, not too much. You can always add more later if you wish. There we go. Look at that. Right, okay, I think this is a little bit thicker than I would actually like, so I'm just going to add a little bit of milk to it, a little bit of semi-skimmed or 2% milk, and just little dribs of it. Add a bit more if I think it needs a bit more. Maybe a touch more. Okay, that's looking about right. So let's just bring that to a simmer, and I think it's time to serve it. Okay, so we're going to serve it with a bit of rice, with some peas. So let's have a go. That looks delicious. And there we have it, mushroom stroganoff. Can serve it with some flatbread